Welcome to No Hive, online learning community from Kerala. Myself Mitra, AI-based personal assistant of Dr. Prem Shankar. I would like to welcome everyone to Web Scraping and Data Analytics with Python course. In last video we have discussed about downloading files using the requests module in Python. Today we will going to discuss about HTML. Before you start scraping web pages, you'll learn some HTML basics. You'll also see how to access your web browser's powerful developer tools, which will make scraping information from the web much easier. In this video tutorial we are going to cover quick overview of the HTML basics. Hypertext Markup Language or HTML is the format that web pages are written in. We assumes that you have some basic experience with HTML, still we provide a quick overview of the HTML basics. An HTML file is a plain text file with the .html file extension. The text in these files is surrounded by tags, which are words enclosed in angle brackets. The tags tell the browser how to format the web page. A starting tag and closing tag can enclose some text to form an element. The text, or inner HTML, is the content between the starting and closing tags. For example, the following HTML will display Hello World in the browser, with hello in bold. This HTML will look like given figure in a browser. The opening strong tag says that the enclosed text will appear in bold. The closing strong tags tells the browser where the end of the bold text is. There are many different tags in HTML. Some of these tags have extra properties in the form of attributes within the angle brackets. For example, the tag encloses text that should be a link. The URL that the text links to is determined by the href attribute. Some elements have an ID attribute that is used to uniquely identify the element in the page. You will often instruct your programs to seek out an element by its id attribute. So figuring out an element's ID attribute using the browser's developer tools is a common task in writing web scraping programs. Viewing the source HTML of a web page, you'll need to look at the HTML source of the web pages that your programs will work with. To do this, right-click any web page in your web browser and select View Source or View Page Source to see the HTML text of the page. This is the text your browser actually receives. The browser knows how to display or render the web page from this HTML. I highly recommend viewing the source HTML of some of your favorite sites. It's fine if you don't fully understand what you are seeing when you look at the source HTML. You won't need HTML mastery to write simple web scraping programs. After all, you won't be writing your own websites. You just need enough knowledge to pick out data from an existing website. Opening your browser's developer tools, in addition to viewing a web page's source, you can look through a page's HTML using your browser's developer tools. In Chrome and Internet Explorer for Windows, the developer tools are already installed, and you can press F12 to make them appear. Pressing F12 again will make the developer tools disappear. In Chrome, you can also bring up the developer tools by selecting View then Developer Tools. In Firefox, you can bring up the Web Developer Tools Inspector by pressing Ctrl plus Shift C on Windows and Linux. The layout is almost identical to Chrome's developer tools. In Safari, Open the Preferences window, and on the Advanced pane check the Show Develop menu in the menu bar option. After enabling or installing the developer tools in your browser, you can right-click any part of the web page and select Inspect Element from the context menu to bring up the HTML responsible for that part of the page. This will be helpful when you begin to parse HTML for your web scraping programs. Don't use regular expression to parse HTML. Locating a specific piece of HTML in a string seems like a perfect case for regular expressions. However, I advise you against it. There are many different ways that HTML can be formatted and still be considered valid HTML. But trying to capture all these possible variations in a regular expression can be tedious and error-prone. Once your program has downloaded a web page using the requests module as discussed in second video, you will have the page's HTML content as a single string value. Now you need to figure out which part of the HTML corresponds to the information on the web page you're interested in. This is where the browser's developer tools can help. Say you want to write a program to pull weather forecast data from https www.accuweather.com before writing any code. Do a little research. If you visit the site and search for Trivandrum, the site will take you to a page showing the forecast for that area. What if you're interested in scraping the weather information for Trivandrum? Right-click where it is on the page and select Inspect Element from the context menu that appears. This will bring up the Developer Tools window, which shows you the HTML that produces this particular part of the web page. This slide shows the developer tools open to the HTML of weather data. Note that if the website changes the design of its web pages, you'll need to repeat this process to inspect the new elements. From the developer tools, you can see that the HTML responsible for the forecast part of the web page. This is exactly what you were looking for. It seems that the forecast information is contained inside a div element. Right-click on this element in the browser's developer console, and from the context menu that appears, select Copy. This will copy path to element. You can use this string for Beautiful Soup's select function or Selenium's find element methods. Now that you know what you're looking for, the Beautiful Soup module will help you find it in the string format. We will continue our lessons in next video. Thank you. Please give your suggestions and feedbacks in comments.